Tim Cook, Mark Wahlberg, and Richard Branson all have one thing in common. They're all early risers and they start their day at 4 in the morning. Now, 4 is not what I do, but here are the 4 things I did to transform my mornings. If you're new here, hi, I'm Neerav, and on this channel, I blend finance, self-improvement, and fitness to empower you to live your best life. What's the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning? Do you often find yourself reaching for your phone and scrolling until you realize it's been 30 minutes and you haven't moved? This was my default routine for so many years until I found myself rushing into work to be there on time. It wasn't until that one day in 2018 when I started studying in the morning for my MBA entrance exam, as I was working longer hours at work, and that was affecting my evening study time. This decision completely changed my life and the trajectory of my career. While it was extremely difficult to get up at 5 and not look at my phone, but also drag myself out of bed and be immediately productive, it took about 2 weeks until I could settle into this routine wherein I would wake up at 5, immediately drag myself out, and by 5:15, I was at my desk studying. And the best part about settling into this routine was that it got my brain juices flowing. And this was because I started my mornings doing something different than the regular mundane tasks that I used to do at work. But at the same time, these tasks that I was doing were more important for me than for someone else. An added advantage that I got by doing this was that it boosted my efficiency and performance at work. My thought process was a lot better. I was a lot more creative when it came to work. And there's an underlying reason for this. The reason for this is your willpower and your focus are at their peak in the morning. On top of that, the added advantage was there's no emails, no social media, absolutely no distractions at 5 in the morning because I was working when everyone else was sleeping. This has since continued even for today. So my mornings are always just pure focus on my MITs, which will have the biggest impact on my day. So I start with a win in the morning and start building a momentum which carries across all of the activities throughout the day. But the foundations of this momentum are laid out the night before. The night before is when you plan activities about what you're going to do and how you're going to do them. A major perk behind this is it removes confusion in the morning because you are clear on what you need to do when you wake up. A more efficient way which has worked very well in the past for me is anticipating and removing all of the obstacles that could cause hindrance into your productive time. These activities consist of something like breakfast, which could be prepped at night and be kept consistent such that it could be overnight oats or a healthy shake recipe that you drink. Prepping these at night and having them ready to go in the morning removes decision fatigue for food and helps you allocate your most productive time towards high value added activities such as reading, learning a skill, building a side hustle, or exercising. Once your productive routine is set, it is extremely important to track your progress and measure it against your short and long-term goals. An easier and a more exciting way to do it is to break down your long-term goals into short-term weekly targets, which makes it a lot more achievable and also keeps you motivated to achieve it. Once you easily start achieving your short-term targets, move the target to make it a lot more difficult, which makes it more challenging and exciting at the same time. Gamifying the approach makes it a lot more exciting and makes you a lot more curious. Think of it as playing a first-person shooter game. As you start passing every level, the bosses start getting a lot more difficult. I followed this exact approach when I was studying for my MBA entrance exam, wherein I started with the easy level questions of 300 to 400 and 400 to 500. I set a timeline to master these levels and my success criteria was at 100% before moving on to the medium level bosses of the 500 to 700 range, where my success criteria again was 100%. My final level boss was the 700 to 800 level, and my success criteria for this was 50%. By gamifying this entire process, it made a lot more challenging and exciting for me to progress through these levels, which eventually helped me achieve a really high score and helped me get into the school of my dreams. Since you're here and all of this sounds exciting to you, this video will help you make your evenings productive. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time.